Welcome to Evansville Podcast. My name is Jason Burton. Thank you for listening. Hey, on today's episode, we've got kind of a two-parter. The first part, we're getting an update about APPCOM, which was a recent episode. Jason Salstrom from USI joined us to talk about APPCOM at the time. They were taking submissions. Since then, they have gotten past the first portion of the competition, and they are now into the semifinals, and the public is invited to participate. So Jason's going to tell us how we can help with the APPCOM. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, check out evansvillepodcast.com/APPCOM. That's APPCOM as in moose. And you can learn all about APPCOM. It's an app competition, so very interesting. And it's, Jason will get into how we can help out, but it's kind of a cool concept. And you get some free Tin Man pizza out of it. So check it out. Let's go to my conversation I had with Jason. And after that, I will be back to kind of give a state of the Evansville podcast and kind of what's going on in the podcast world. Thanks. All right, we're back with the APPCOM information, so that you've got all of the official contestants now. You took the entries and whittled them down from hundreds and thousands to 10.
we had 9 judges scoring all the applicants, and we arrived at I think we've got 12 competitors, semifinalists, and just happened to turn out that we've got 5 student-led teams, 6 student-led teams and 6 professional-led teams.
Right, and for people that don't know, go back and listen to the first podcast, because we detail everything out. No, I'll link to that, but yeah, so that each team has to have a student on it, right?
Right. So local developers, professionals, local software development firms, they had to recruit a USI student to be on their team, at least one. Local software developer, one of our local firms, they've got 2 USI students partnered with 3 developers from their firm developing a product for lawyers. Then we have a number of more freelance professionals that partnered with developers that partnered with USI students to develop their ideas. We've got a range of ideas, apps to help make grocery shopping easier. We've got, as I mentioned, we have an app for lawyers. We've got apps for home management. We've got another dating app with an interesting twist,
right.
of course. And we have, some social media app that takes advantage of augmented reality. We have an app for stress reduction using a VR virtual reality to reduce stress. We've got an app to facilitate office communication, messaging, emailing, that type of thing, phone conversation. So a good variety of apps. And last week we had 2 weeks ago, the 15th, we had some training on design thinking, and they're coming back for another round of training. So
nice.
It's working out pretty well. Cool.
And so we have I pulled up this on January 14th. There's the semifinals.
Yeah, that's the semifinals. It'll be at Tin Man Brewery. 5 o'clock, the doors open, and you'll have to RSVP to get into that. Okay. And everybody who comes is a judge who will be you'll be using play money to invest in the ideas that you like best, that you think are the best investments. To RSVP, go to appcompetition.org or go to Tech on Tap's meetup page.
Okay. And that, you'll see it right there. Okay.
Right.
So you're limiting it to a certain amount of people then, probably?
Right.
You can only hold so many at Tin Man.
Right. We did this last year, and it exceeded expectations. We had about 90 plus or minus show up, and that was pushing it on capacity.
Right.
So we're gonna cut it off before that. We're still figuring out the number. It's probably gonna be around 65, 75 at the most, something like that.
Yeah, that's a good amount of people, though.
Yeah, so the teams are excited. They're working on their ideas. They're developing their pitches. So the way it's going to work, there's going to be a quick 1-minute pitch for each team, and then the attendees, the audience, the mock investors are going to go to the tables and discuss the ideas with the teams. They're going to have their displays, talk about their app ideas, and invest where the ideas they like best.
I think it's a good idea to go out and check this out, even if you have no idea how any of it works, just because it's interesting to see that side of Evansville in that area, the tri-state area, I guess, because that that doesn't get talked a lot about. I think our technology abilities, and we have pretty good technology people in the area. I think.
Absolutely. And I mean, last year's was a very successful event. It was kind of our first experiment at running an event in this way, and people showed up off the street because it got some NPR coverage, and people showed off the street and. Comments like one lady commented, suggested that this was a tipping point for the region. She said just because she had no idea that this was much cool stuff was going on around here, and that there's this much excitement in the kind of entrepreneurial community. And so it's a pretty fun event. So and we're doing it on a Saturday evening. As I talked to people wanted it to be kind of a fun social event. So they wanted it on early evening, so they could make it kind of a date night as well. So it's a good social networking opportunity. It's fun. It's engaging. Get a chance to see what some of the entrepreneurs are doing in the region and in the tech space, and maybe even be ground floor of the next $1 billion app.
Right. Well, hopefully.
Yeah.
You'll get a cut of that, right?
I'm working on that.
Okay.
Yeah.
This competition, that's the semifinals. The finals will be in February.
Finals in February.
And then,
it's kind of a developmental competition. Right. The idea is to really kind of build relationships and networks and make sure that these ideas and businesses that might launch out of them really have roots in the region. So they don't just pick up and go elsewhere. So it's it's an extended competition to facilitate that. And then the final will be, so the semifinals, January 14th, finals February 11th. And the finals will be a different format, more kind of a traditional, boring panel evaluation judging for the probably around 5 finalists that'll be competing in that.
Okay.
And that'll be talking a little more in depth about how these apps are being executed and the business model and so forth. Then following that is Startup Weekend. So some of these app ideas will transition right into Startup Weekend to turn these app ideas into business models over that event. And then APPCOM in the spring, which is a similar type of event, kind of a prolonged competition where these ideas and other business ideas from the region can develop business models in the competition and compete for cash and support and resources and all that kind of thing.
So this is the first time you've done the full-blown app competition. You mentioned last year was kind of a test run, but not a full-blown thing, right? Right.
There wasn't an app competition last year. Last year was just a business model competition.
Okay.
And that was for the some of their technology commercialization graduates out of last year's class, and also some of our Eagle Innovation Accelerator startups. Okay. So we had 5 of each competing in that one.
Yeah. So what have you learned, I guess, even though you're not even halfway through this process probably, but if you for the next year, have you got some?
Yeah, we've got some lessons learned. Yeah. We'll look, we'll frame the application process a little bit differently than we did this year. Not much, just some small tweaks. I think overall, it's actually, I borrowed and stole from all the good ideas across every competition across the country, if not any place. So it was fairly well worked out. We tested a lot of things and conceptually before we launched it, and it's still an experiment this year, but it's working better than expected as of right now.
Cool. Well, yeah, I'm excited. I get go judge people. It's it's a fun thing.
Yeah. Next year we'll be looking for you in the competition.
Well, I didn't want to just win it, first out.
Yeah.
I want to give some people some chances.
Right. That would look good.
Yeah. Right. And need an idea.
Yeah.
There's that too.
January 14th.
Yeah.
appcompetition.org, RSVP, or go straight to the meetup page for Tech on Tap and RSVP there. Perfect. It's a good time. Tin Man. We'll have pizza at 5:30. Okay. Doors open at 5. Pizza at 5:30, and the pitches will start at 6 on the dot.
Very good.
The more I learn, the less I know. Life is a test, but the lesson is all. We'll study on up, you won't pass it though. I got friends down where the tree roots grow. Everybody know, 'cause everybody go. Live now, die till the moment pass. Get moving, momentum don't last. Can't watch it, but time gon' lapse. And me with the mic and the DJ scratching. Boom.
Before we get into the state of the podcast, the music we're listening to right now is a friend of the show, Michael Barber. He and Matty Moe teamed up recently to have an album out called Deadly Combo, and this song is Moon Rocks. So please check it out. Link to Michael Barber's website in the show notes, michaelbarber.org. All right, so what is going on and where are my notes? Those are the questions that I have. So, stats. Nothing like jumping into numbers right away, but some interesting things I learned after looking at the stats from last year. Just wanted to thank everyone. We doubled our downloads from the previous year, which is crazy. Sometimes I think, hey, there's not enough people listening. And then sometimes I think, why would anyone listen to me? So you never know what you're going to get. But to double up from the previous year is crazy to me. And so, yes, thank you very much, everyone who listened or at least downloaded to make me feel good. Appreciate it. Also, we published 75 episodes. Now, of course, all 75 weren't just Evansville Podcast. We had some politics aside in there and some other things. But we had a hand in 75 episodes, and that was up from, we had 50-something, between 50 and 55 the previous year. So it's up a little bit. So, yeah, it was an interesting year. 2016, a lot of people didn't like, and some people did like, and I'm kind of liked and not liked both of it. Some of the things that I did like, we formed a network, the Evansville Podcast Network, and we are still trying to figure out what that means, other than an excuse to get together and drink bourbon and record podcast episodes. But seriously, we have started a network, and we have some cool things lined up that hopefully early this year we'll get to roll out. But until then, the occasional bourbon episode is not bad. Part of that network is the Beyond Repair show, Clockwork Nights, Politics Aside. We have an upcoming Josh Petrowski project that I believe the details are still being ironed out. His previous show is on hiatus, and so we anxiously await the next Petrowski project. And we also have a mystery project, hopefully coming soon. If I can get some more details on that I'm allowed to talk about, I will. But for now, just know that there's another show coming up, and it's not locally focused. So there, how's that? We also we also got to partner with WNIN. So late in 2016, we started a segment on Thursdays that airs usually at 4:44-ish during All Things Considered. I can also play earlier in the day if the schedule allows, but those are pretty random when that can happen. But we get to be on the radio and WNIN. This is the first time that, other than the Philharmonic, that WNIN has worked with anyone outside of their own area. So it's very we're honored. We're honored to be on there, the network, and so. Yeah, it's been cool, and we're still trying to figure out what that means, but it's usually a 4-minute segment where we'll talk about, I'll hopefully have a clip from one of the shows on the network from that week, and we'll play that clip, and I'll answer questions about it and talk about it with Maria Thomas. So far it's been fun, and we also started accepting sponsors here at the end of the year. We had E-Luxury Supply, and we also had 6th Street Soapery, which we were very thankful to have those. And on the Beyond Repair show, I know we've had many sponsors there that I don't want to name because I'll forget somebody. But for the Evansville Podcast specifically, we were able to have those sponsors. And yeah, we're very fortunate to get those. And if you are interested in sponsoring, that's one thing I wanted to mention. We're looking to grow, and with growth comes cost. And if I want to keep doing this, it's one of those things that cash is good. So we're looking to get more sponsors. And if you want to sponsor the show, figure out what that means, just give me an email at contact@evansvillepodcast.com, or you can fill out the contact form on the website at evansvillepodcast.com. Or if you don't want to sponsor, but you still want to donate, we totally will take that money. We are not a nonprofit. We are a not-profit. But so there's no tax write-off or anything. It's just something out of the goodness of your heart. We totally will take that money. There's some PayPal donate buttons on the website, on the main page now. If you go to it on a normal computer, you can see it on the right-hand side. And if you're on your mobile, you have to scroll a little bit. But we're down there. So certainly, we'll never charge for this, obviously. But you're totally welcome to give me money. But yeah, so a couple other things while I have you. We're going to do some live shows this year. One of the things I want to do, especially with the Beyond Repair show, I think that really lends itself to a live show format. And there's a couple other things, ideas we have. So look for that maybe sometime in the late winter, while there's, just get a good reason to get out and go have some fun. So we'll look at doing that, maybe partnering with a couple of the other podcasts in the area. Please check out it's like a podcast boom going on in Evansville. So check out all the cool stuff that's going on, not just with our humble little network, but outside that network, a lot of great shows going on. So check them out as well. Live shows. We're probably going to start some new podcasts later in the year. I've got some ideas that I want to actually get accomplished this year. We're looking to grow and to expand our empire, so to speak. Also, one thing that I don't mention as often, but really does help us out, if you could take a moment to go to iTunes and rate or review us, or both, that would be awesome. It helps somehow with new people finding the show. So I know a lot of you have already done this, and I appreciate it. But I know this is a very strange episode, but just kind of talking about what's going on in Evansville podcast land. We've recorded a few episodes here already this year, and some different people that I've never had on the show. So that'll be cool. And if you ever have anyone you want to hear on the show, or you yourself might want to be on the show, just send me a message on Facebook or shoot an email. Like I said, contact@evansvillepodcast.com, or go to the web page, fill out the contact there. We have a newsletter that I'm going to promise to do more frequently than last year. These are, it's a learning experience, right? But I want to do it at least monthly to get information about what's going on, and not just necessarily with episodes, but just kind of what's going on with the podcast, Evansville podcast world. I don't know. That's kind of what's going on right now. Like I said, we've got some new shows that we have ideas for, and some guests that are going to be coming on here in a couple weeks that we're pretty happy about. Don Mattingly, if you're listening, door's always open, as you know. And yeah, like I said, if you know somebody, send them my way. Oh yeah, and also we're about ready to hit 1,000, if not already, 1,000 Facebook likes. So thank you very much. We really appreciate it. And I know I'm not adding much value with this episode. It feels weird just sitting here talking. Thank you for listening. Thank you for the support over the last 3 years. And hopefully this will be our best year so far. Good job, everybody.